Happy to be here to show you Winnow. Winnow is an online state and federal regulatory compliance and legal research engine. But it's a different type of engine that actually takes into account anything that you want to do. If you're looking to get a license, if you're looking to do unsecured consumer lending, if you're looking to do mortgages, things like that, we can tell you what licenses you need and what rules are applicable to you. Once you've figured out what you need to get in terms of licensure, you get that into Winnow, and the information that you're getting back is going to be derived based upon the licenses that you have or the entity type that you are, maybe if you're a bank or a non-bank, you're a credit union, something like that, as well as the products that you offer, where you offer them. All of that's going to go into account when you're actually building your survey in Winnow, so you're only going to get the rules that are applicable to you. You don't need to go through the noise or the nonsense to figure out, do I need to care about this rule or not? And the way that we do that in Winnow is we actually build it through surveys. So what we're going to do here is we're going to choose consumer financing, and consumer financing from there we'll get another drop down that basically allows us to choose what are we doing? Are we doing leases? Are we doing unsecured financing? Whatever. We choose that, and then from there we move on, and we're figuring out what loan phase we have. Winnow goes from the very beginning of the do I need a license all the way on through the first notification of default. We're very specific to financial services as well as deposits when it comes to banking. So we're going to choose origination on this, getting in right at the very beginning. And then at that point, we're going to choose a couple of jurisdictions. Winnow covers all of the states as well as federal. So we're going to choose federal, we're going to choose California, Illinois, and New York, just to give some very consumer-friendly states so you can see that. And once you have those choices made, you'll see that there's a number of topics that are applicable here. In this case, I believe it's 88 topics that are applicable. And from there, you can choose whichever topics you'd like to choose. For this one, we're going to choose adverse action, and I think we're going to choose anti-discrimination, just to see what's out there for that. And you can choose any number of topics as well as any number of categories. Each one of those categories out there is going to change depending upon what type of survey you're running. For this type of survey, we're seeing disclosures and fees and record retention requirements and practice restrictions. The practice restrictions are really everything that didn't fit in the other ones, and we just didn't come up with a super great name for it. So we call it practice restrictions. And as you can see now, we've got our results. Those results are going to be specific to the licenses that are in there. In this instance, we're not showing any licenses. We're saying we're unlicensed as well as getting the results that are licensed. And you can see the requirements that are applicable to you. Now, those requirements, when I say that, I'm talking about statutes, regulations, constitutional articles, any type of official rulemaking that's applicable to an entity, that's what's going to be there. And once you save that survey, that's going to continue to run for you periodically on an everyday basis. You're going to get a notification once a week. We try not to make it too noisy for you because people don't pay attention to push notifications so much anymore. So you're going to get that notification on a weekly basis saying, this is what's changed. Here's the difference between what was and what will become, and you're going to see that in a red line format. So you see everything that's changed or everything that's new is in green, everything that's been deleted is highlighted in red and struck through, as well as the addition of certain definitions. We keep all of those on the right-hand side so you can see them in context with what you're looking at. So if you're going in and you're trying to start up a brand new lending product in a new state, you need to figure out what rules are applicable to you, what licenses you need. Winnow does all that for you, so you don't have to spend all of your initial money, or even if you're an established business. We work with everybody from the very smallest startups all the way on through the largest financial institutions in the country and some in the world. So we're going to tell you what you need to get in terms of licenses, the rules that are going to be applicable to you, all of that without having to necessarily spend a significant amount of money on outside counsel, on consultants, on things like that. Instead, you're going to be able to target your spend very specifically with the questions that really matter to you and the interpretations of some of these things as well, too. So if you are looking to see whether or not you want to do business in New York, or you want to do business in North Carolina, you want to do business in Nebraska for some reason, that's going to be in here, and you can actually then talk to your outside counsel, your general counsel, your compliance people or whatnot, and this is what's going to be applicable to you. The other thing that Winnow does is we've also built in our own AI model. So we have something that sits right on top of the Winnow database, so you're not getting these weird confabulations or hallucinations. You're getting information that's been completely entered in by attorneys, reviewed by attorneys, and published by attorneys, because Winnow is representative of over 85,000 attorney hours at this point and over 85,000 requirements that are published inside of Winnow. So none of this has been screen scraped or copy and paste. None of this is actually pulled out from the internet by AI. This is all human attorneys that have gone in, over 140 of them over the years, and now we have 5 full-time attorneys that do nothing but keep this up to date. But you can go in and you can ask a plain language question and get a plain language answer with our AI. Something specific if you want to be able to figure out if you're doing mortgages and you want to figure out, well, what are my first steps to do to make a foreclosure action in a given state or whatnot. You can type that in, get that question answered quickly. You can also do a survey for it as well, too. It's something that both of them are going to be in there. But if you're looking to do some quick research and you want to get a quick answer, you can go in and you can use Winnow AI to do that, and it makes it very easy for you. We store those questions for you on the left-hand rail, so if you want to go back and take a look at them, they're there. Inside of Winnow, if you're looking at a specific requirement and you want to remember it for later to talk to one of your colleagues about or to talk to your general counsel about or something to that effect, you can favorite that requirement and come back to it in Winnow and be able to look at it right away without having to go through a survey or ask AI a question. You can favorite that one. It's going to be there in your saved surveys as well, too, or your saved items. So you can go back and see what surveys do I have out there running. And you can make those as specific or as broad as you'd like. So if you want a nationwide survey monitoring all of the topics, you can do that. We try to say it's better to be a little bit more specific if you can, because it's going to be more useful to you. But all of that's there. It's all running in the background. It's all being updated by attorneys and sent to you on a weekly basis as to when something changes, what it looks like as it's changed, what was, what will be. You can go back and run historical surveys as well, too. So if you're doing an audit in 3 years from now and you want to understand what your requirements were back now, you can run that as well too. Winnow is versatile. It is applicable to you because it's about you. We take everything as it relates to your entity, and that's what you're getting. No noise, just the information you need. That's Winnow. We'd be happy to help you, talk about Winnow. Come and visit us at our booth.